Next on stage, we have Böhme from Kyndryl, Germany. We have Alexander Kurtzahn from EDEKA Rhein-Ruhr Stiftung, and we have Markus Lange, also from Kyndryl, Germany. Böhme, you are since 2022. You are working in the practice apps data and AI as an IT architect for data engagement and solutions at Kyndryl. Markus, I continue with you. Since Kyndryl has spun off from IBM, you are the practice leader for application data and AI in Germany. And last but not least, Alexander, you are since 2016 the IT manager at EDEKA Rhein-Ruhr Stiftung, and before you held various positions also at SAP. The stage is yours, and yeah, next 20 minutes belong to you.
So, thank you and welcome to the audience. I want to spend the first 45 seconds of this plot to give you a brief overview of what we are doing at Kyndryl, just to make sure that you know what we are doing. As the moderator already stated, Kyndryl is a spin-off from IBM, so we were formerly part of IBM, which was spun off. And we are currently the largest infrastructure provider and started 2 years ago as the biggest startup with 90,000 people strong. And based on that, we leveraged our footprint also in the data and AI practice and in the area, because based on the infrastructure level, we have huge impact on clients' databases and clients' data. And therefore, I'm very happy that Alexander Kurtzahn is today here presenting one of our projects. So therefore, thank you.
Welcome. Okay, first thing, it was a pretty nice combination to put this presentation directly after the one from the Schwarz IT, because then I don't need to give you an introduction in the very fancy retail market. So I think you've shown this on the slides from the colleague before, Dr. Tim, I'm not quite sure, sorry. He said he is hiring, we are hiring as well, so just contact me afterwards. First, short introduction, what is EDEKA? Because EDEKA is completely different than Schwarz IT or all other companies you know. Because we are a cooperative. In German, I don't remember the word, so the German one, no. The Genossenschaft. What does it mean? This means that it's not like a pyramid where you have a central headquarters and you have some regional corporations and then you have customers like franchise or whatsoever. It's the other way around. Our retailers, our store inhabitants, our Kaufmann, as we call them, as you found on every corner of the street, is the inhabitant of the whole company. So they are not only our customers, they're also our board. So it's quite an unusual situation because they can really tell us what I need to do. So that's completely crazy, so to say. But this is also a lot of fun because I don't know, I don't want to compare it with Lidl because I don't have any, or Schwarz IT because I don't have any insights, so I can't do this. So, but what does it mean? When one of our Kaufmanns, so one of our stores, one of our shareholders wants to have anything or wants to test something in his store, then we are doing this. Of course, there needs to be a business case. We're telling them what it costs, but he is willing to pay, then we do so. That is the reason why all of the EDEKA stores looks not quite similar. So they're completely different sometimes because it's a completely different approach. They're individual stores, individual companies. And yeah, that sounds very nasty on one point, but on the other hand, it's quite nice because if you can convince one of them for a brilliant idea, so if I have a brilliant idea, for example, then I need only to convince one of the stores that we will try to test it, and then we can do so. So therefore, with some things we are very, very, very fast, or we can be very fast. On the other hand, of course, it's the other way around. If you need to convince everybody to do it in a special way, then it's completely complicated and completely, well, not so much fun. One other thing, and this is, I have a German quote at that point, because then on the other hand, you would believe that I have translated it in the wrong way. It's the chapter 1 of the EDEKA Charter. So paragraph 1, it's that we creating mittelständische Lebensmittelhändler und wir machen sie erfolgreich. I just said it in German right now because that's a fact. And it's written down, and it's the same for every EDEKA region. So we are creating, promoting, and maintaining economically healthy, fully viable business of independent entrepreneurs in the medium-sized grocery business. That's our task, our goal. That's our mission. And it's not only in my head, it's wrote down in our chapter. It's chapter 1. Yeah. So, and I'm not kidding. Just to keep this in mind, because this makes it quite different if you're talking about modern technologies and AI when we're thinking about how to get this to our customers, because they are our board and our customers in parallel. It's not our clock. So what is our idea? What do we want to say? What do we need to do to achieve this? First thing is, of course, they need to increase their revenue, reduce their costs, that's easy, and maximize their profit. But that's not all, because that's easy. Then you have to do it in a way like every other company, just get rid of all the stuff, make it all the same, then it's easier to handle. So therefore, we think that in our approach, it's easier, it's necessary for us that a company does not only make profit, but that's also the customer, our retailers can fulfill their mission. And their mission is to go on a very individual way to their customers. And that's why a store in Munich does completely look different than the one in Brandenburg anywhere or in Berlin or whatsoever, because they've got a completely different approach. Yeah. So what does it mean for our solutions? The first thing is we need to make our merchants to have a maximum time for their customers. So that means get rid of all the stuff that's not useful, that's not necessary. Second thing is we think he needs to go to the store. He doesn't need to be in the office. He needs to go to the store to find out what his customers, in the end, what everybody of you who goes shopping in the store needs. So, and our tools needs to free up his time. Therefore, just said it, sorry, I was too fast. Get rid of all the annoying things and make recommendations what you should do next. So we call this next best action. It's always completely horrible for me to say this, next best action. That doesn't sound good from my point of view. Next best action. So give him a hint what he needs to do. How could this look? And that's a combination now of big data as well as a little bit AI. I will tell you later on. So and don't be alarmed by these numbers because this is completely. So I'm from Rhein-Ruhr, EDEKA Rhein-Ruhr in Moers. These are stores from Berlin, at least if you read the text. So it's completely only a demo system. So what are we doing at that point? First thing, give him the information he needs and exactly the information he needs. And this could be individual, different from store to store. Second, give him information also outside of our environment, of our systems. For example, here you can see any Google comments. So if they are important, if there is important information for us. And this thing, it's not only counting the stars, it's the first thing where we get AI, realize what's in it. And if it's something that you have to do something because there's necessary information in it. For example, if it's a bad information, it's always dirty there or whatsoever. So get the comments. Also, we have included in our systems, not only there, the weather. But if you're talking about weather, then it's not so easy. So we find out in the first place, the weather can be described by more than 40 variables. What is the right one? And what is the right one for which assortment? We also know, as you as well, I guess. For example, when it's hot or when it's nice weather, there will be barbecue, but not in the winter, at least usually. You are consuming more dark bread in the winter than in the summer. In the summer, you usually eat more white bread. Don't know why, but it's a matter of fact. So when it's too hot for ice cream, is it at any time too hot? Could be. I know that it is, but I cannot tell you everything. So, and this is one thing we find out, and we checked with the data and see which kind of effect has which kind of variable in these more than 40 variables that describe the weather to the assortment and what he needs to do. And of course, there you see on the top, there's also this little bell with this 5 where you can see if you click there, you get hints. The Kaufmann gets in what he needs to do. So, we bring the right assortment to it. We have integrated some AI features, and we also have integrated internal and external data. And it could be individual. So it could be from one merchant to another, it looks different because everybody of them has a different approach. Another idea for AI, just to give you, and that's all of these are real solutions that are running, but not all of them, but it's not the right data. For example, all of our merchants, of course, have their most beloved assortment. So one of them, for example, is I just talked to one who is really he loves to have 500 different whiskey bottles in his store. So, but therefore, I don't know. So don't tell him. Perhaps he don't have any clue about sweets or whatsoever. So he can't be the expert in all of the things of the store. So therefore, we, for example, gave them an idea which kind of assortment he should look at. And for example, here you could see if he has got more than one store, that's sometimes the case. Should he change the assortment in his shelves? Should he, for example, the first one should go out or should go into the shelf so that he had a better performance? And if he clicks in on it, then he could do 2 things. First thing, he just believes in us and changes the assortment of his shelves, changes his assortment. So there will be delivered other assortments to him. It will be part of the forecast and replenishment process from that point on. Or he just say, okay, they can tell me everything. Okay, the Kurtzahn guy is always talking lots of stuff. Let's prove him. And then we can see, okay, we promise you, or we not promising, but we think and we calculated that you will do additional revenue by 3% or whatsoever, and you will sell so much articles of it and whatsoever. So that he can really get, if he tries it out, he can see afterwards, does it work or not? If they promise the right thing, when they say exchange this one to another one, you can see the results because we are calculating them and makes a prediction. Yeah, that's so far to our AI stuff. There's lots of more to come, but Anna will tell you about this, of our plans for the future.
Yes, many thanks, Alexander, for this business view. Now I want to talk a little bit about the technical view. Approximately 3 years ago, EDEKA started his data journey together with IBM and Kyndryl, and I would say we are still on the road. The very first beginnings laid in the cloud environment, where the very first data models was developed, deployed, and tested. After the first positive results, a data platform was built in the on-premise data center of EDEKA. The design was made by IBM and Kyndryl together, and we have to focus on a modular, open, and scalable design. We implemented this, and after the implementation, Kyndryl took over the platform operation for that. If I look in during 3 years, the platform has changed massively due to the business requirements changed, non-function requirements changed, and so on. The very first use case was an operational use case. This was the dashboard you saw some minutes ago. It based on some statistics. Alexander mentioned we put it internal and external data together. We prepared the data and show on the dashboard and so on. After that, The first analytical use case was developed. It's based on SPSS. We deployed some or developed some R and Python scripts for that. And after that, a planning use case based on Cognos was developed. And on the agenda is that EDEKA want to use more and more AI use cases, more and more AI features to increase the business value more and more. Beside this, functional requirements, also non-functional requirements changed during the last 3 years. We had a redesign of the backup concept. We have performance tuning by using Impala, another table calculation, and so on. And now we have the chance, or we have the challenge, because the platform becomes now more and more critical. So we plan at the moment a disaster recovery concept for this platform to make the data lake more and more reliable. And due to the modular and open design, we could implement all these changes so far. What is important, and maybe you see that or you heard that, EDEKA used that data lake as a corporate data lake, and that makes the data management much more easier. For example, to ensure the data quality, to manage metadata, and so on, the data lineage. And I think, in my opinion, that are the two factors which make this platform so successful and usable for EDEKA. The first is the modular open design, which brings functional and non-functional requirements together. And the second is the common usage of all business units from EDEKA of this data platform. Yeah. Maybe it looks like that this data platform is commodity, but it isn't. It is tailored of the requirements of EDEKA. So we have an on-premise infrastructure, it's modular, scalable, and open. We can fulfill all business or all security requirements of EDEKA. And I think that's also important. And the journey goes still on, and maybe we have the chance in 1 or 2 years to stay here on the stage and tell more about our progress. And because I think it's also more as a data platform. We have some services round about that. Kyndryl, for example, delivers the platform service. We make the monitoring of the data platform. We patch the data platform and so on. And IBM delivers some common data services. We monitor the ETL pipelines and so on. And this gives EDEKA the focus to work with the data, to work with the business use cases and so on. And I hope we have a lot of progress in the next 1 or 2 years together with EDEKA and IBM to make this platform successful for EDEKA.
Thank you.